2.
Hi everyone and welcome to day 20 of Spring Forward Movement Challenge. Another beautiful beach for you all, / for me. Yep, still in Scotland. There's actually snow on the mountains over there, so forgive me if I stay wrapped up today whilst I show you your beautiful, beautiful Wednesday midweek mobilisations. Today we're going to be working through a few exercises that really both mobilise the spine and some of the hips and muscles. I'm going to get down on the sand and just do my best. So we're going to start with some simple thoracic rotations. Now this thoracic spine is your spine from here, base of the neck, down to the middle of your back. And that part of the spine often gets flexed, but it doesn't often get extended or rotated enough. So today what we're going to try and do is basically identify to you where perhaps you're missing some rotation and which side perhaps you could do with mobilizing more frequently to get some balance and mobility through that spine. Because as we get older, that part of your spine is pretty prone to that sort of forward hunch degeneration. The more we can encourage the opposite ranges of motion, the better you're going to serve yourself later in your life. So we're going to start with those thoracic rotations. You're going to come onto the floor, knees under your hips. Look at this soft sand! You're going to come down onto your elbow. This left hand is going to come onto the back of the head, and you're going to tuck your left elbow down and underneath before then raising it up, and down and underneath before raising it up. Keep your core active so you don't slouch too much through your back. Lift up through the spine, really lift the elbow up, bring it through and then back up. Hello crazy doggy, come on, go run. So that's that side. Then you're going to do 15 on that side. Then you're going to turn around or switch arms, left arm on the elbow, core nice and neutral, hand behind the head, elbow comes down and through, and then you lift up. And you'll really find that one side will rotate a lot further than the other, and that just highlights where perhaps you're favouring one direction of twist in your day-to-day movements and maybe need to do a little bit more mobilising on the other side without it. Okay, the next exercise, oh my god, does anyone else have a phobia of sand everywhere? This is out of love, guys, love for you all. Okay, so next one we're moving into active hero pose. Now hero pose we've done already, but we're going to make this one active to mobilise your hips. So coming down, knees at hips distance, sink your hips down to the floor. Now if you're stiff through those hips, put a cushion, a book or a block, whatever you've got underneath your bottom so you're not sinking all the way down. From this position, you're going to put your hands behind you, either on your feet or further back, wherever you are, and you're going to lift the hips up and down, and then up and down. And you're going to do 30 of these. With this one, please make sure that the lift comes from your bottom and not from your low back. So when you're in this hero pose like this, as you lift up, you lift from your bottom, you don't arch the spine. It makes no difference to the stretch whether your back is compressed or actually if you're just lifting your tush straight up. Almost think about lifting pubic bone up towards the ceiling. What's my naughty doggy doing in the background there? Okay, and you're going to do 30 of these. Now you may find that after doing 10 or so, you can come down to the next level, which is onto your elbows, and then lifting from there, which there will be less range, but it will feel that stretch right the way through those thighs and through those hip flexors. Okay, the next exercise is ironically walk the dog, which Rua demonstrates beautifully. You're going to come into a downward dog pose. So in like this, plank position, lift your bottom, and you're going to bend one knee and then bend the other knee. And bend one knee and bend the other knee. As you do that, don't let the ribs pop forward. ribs tucked in, keep the core nice and strong, and push from the armpits down to the floor. So in this position, you're pushing from here downwards rather than from there downwards. And you're then going to walk the dog, and you should really feel that stretching through the hamstrings and the calves. To make this easier, you just come up onto a raised plinth, so your hands are slightly higher. Similarly, I would rather see you doing this from bent legs with your bottom in the air and doing this kind of thing rather than rounded back and straight legs like that, okay? I'd rather see a straight spine, bent legs than a rounded spine and straight legs. Can you hear me okay, Graham? Good, okay. Moving on to your next exercise. Good, I'm lying on the floor on my back again. So, happy baby. This is one of my favourite hip openers because I can do it lying on my back, protecting my spine. And we're going to go into a happy baby position, which is lying on your back, legs in the air, sand falling everywhere. You're going to grab the outside of your feet, come see, and from this position you're going to draw circles, and you're going to draw 15 anti-clockwise, and then you're going to draw 15 clockwise. And you should really feel that mobilizing right through those hip joints. If you can't hold onto your feet, grab a tea towel around each foot and hold those. If you want to add a little bit of a hamstring stretch to it, you can extend the legs as you circle, like this. Almost like you're doing a bit of breaststroke, but the key is that you keep your bottom on the floor the whole time. So you're driving, you're almost pulling the feet down towards the floor, you're driving those hips down towards the floor rather than lifting the bottom off. So you're pulling and pulling these arms down, pulling the knees towards your armpits as you do these circles. Your circles may be small, your circles may be big. You may find one side is a lot easier than the other. Like for me, the left side feels easy breezy, the right side feels really sticky. And that just means that I work through that nice and gently, easing the hip through that range of motion. And we're going to do 15 one way and then 15 the other way. And then our final exercise, she says with sand in her mouth, is trans hammy. This exercise is one that I give my patients all the time who have any kind of sciatic nerve irritation, because it is such a safe and effective way of flossing that sciatic nerve up and down the leg. Now ideally we do this with our leg raised on a plinth or a chair like that. Keep the pelvis steady and straight and level the whole time. If you put your foot on a chair and you have to hitch, that's too high for you. So just lower the foot onto a step where your pelvis can stay nice and straight. From there, if you imagine your hip bones are car headlights, you are going to pan those headlights one way and then the other way, okay? So your foot is on a plinth. To increase it, you can bend your knee. I'm just going to rest mine on the floor. My bottom pushes backwards slightly, and then my headlights are going to pan forwards, pan right, and then pan left. And then pan right, woo, balance, and then pan left. This is actually a little bit easier with it raised. So you pan to the left, pan to the right. Almost as if you're closing this hip on the left in towards that right leg. Sideways on with this. Please make sure that you stay upright and that your spine is neutral. So as you tip your bottom backwards, you hold your core really, really strong so your spine is neutral. I don't want you flexing through that spine. That totally takes the tension out of the area that we're wanting to work. So nice straight spine, bottom goes back, pan to the right, pan to the left as your foot stays nice and neutral. Does that make sense, Graham? Yes? Good. Okay guys, that is your day 20. I really hope you've enjoyed these beautiful views. Scotland has been absolutely amazing, but I have to say, having my exercises there at the beginning of every day has certainly kept me moving at times when I probably wouldn't have. So it's little things like this that I hope you realise can just keep you moving towards your health goals without massive commitments, even when you're enjoying a holiday or time with friends or time with family. So I hope you guys have enjoyed today. Take the time for your body and then we'll go from there. Right now, I need to go and rescue my dog. Bye!